Everyone knows Japanese TV shows are messed up, but you probably didn't know Japan has a sadism village. Here, the abusers use torment as a reward, and the tormented view being abused as an honor. This just took the perversity of Japanese TV to a whole new level. Make sure you call your friends to watch this one. A few comedians are preparing to go to the village to try being abused. On the way, they run into Watanabe, who wants to be a permanent resident there. So the four of them traveled together. They arrived at the first trial checkpoint to enter the village. The school. Seeing that the person who comes out is a young girl, the guys feel contemptuous. But after asking, they learn she is the village chief's daughter, specifically in charge of evaluating who can enter the Sadism Village. Who knew Watanabe would immediately demand to be abused?
お前はとりあえずいいわ。多分喜んじゃうから、なんかやっても意味ねえわ。見とけ。
When Watanabe hears this, he instantly kneels down on the ground, refusing to leave. The other is Mr. Okamoto Yuki, and his two partners, Nagamo Long Hair and Kamatama Turtle Egg. Seeing that it's not that easy to get in, the guys almost decided to just give up. But then, just kidding. How could the Sadism Village let you come and go as you please? Kamatama didn't expect to actually get hit. The girl Little Red couldn't stand his turtle egg-shaped head, so she makes him kneel down and apologize to the audience.
自分をよく見せようとしてました。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
なんでだよ。
Why me? Seeing how well Watanabe is behaving, Little Red decides to give him a reward.
ありがとうございます。
The guys are baffled. Everything they learned before is completely useless here. But Little Red sees that they are quite sincere, so she agrees to let them change into school uniforms and go to class. But before that, Little Red wants Mr. Okamoto Yuki to be more sincere and not to fake it.
そうですね、はい。
Watanabe on the side is green with envy. Seeing his extreme sincerity, Little Red decides to give him a big reward, a nose abuse apparatus. A basket is then hung from it, holding a bottle of mineral water.so. Now he is finally satisfied. Next, the group finally gets into the school as they wished. Right inside the door are two strict school rules. Adultery is a capital crime. Being a virgin is also a capital crime. Another rule is that you can't say bad things about yourself, which means you have to praise yourself. Then they get ready to go into the classroom to receive their education. There are more female students than male students here, and every one of them is beautiful. Then the group starts their self-introductions. Unexpectedly, the students here have vicious mouths. They trashed Mr. Okamoto completely, calling him a virgin, and saying he must be sentenced to death. No matter what, he definitely can't admit to that crime. In a fit of anger, he immediately loses it. But then the students below start calling him a good person, and good people are not allowed here. As a result of arguing and making a commotion in class with the students, he is fined 500,000 yen. Looks like the show producers are serious this time. This money will be deducted directly from his appearance fee. Next is lunchtime. Who knew the male student would continue to provoke Mr. Okamoto? He asks him to use his acting skills to introduce a delicacy, but the delicacy is raw wasabi. Mr. Okamoto definitely can't back down. Who knew? Just as he opens his mouth. Of course, that's not the main point. The main point is that after the introduction, he has to try it. The experience instantly makes Mr. Okamoto feel like he's going through hell. But not only does he not surrender, he swallows it down in one gulp. I didn't expect him to fight so hard just to save face. This guy seriously has a lot of guts. But because he forgot to do the introduction after tasting it, he has to do it again. That is really tough. But Mr. Okamoto is all about being authentic. It turns out he was just completely immersed in the flavor. Afterward, Mr. Okamoto decides to seize the moment and swallows it again in one go. Wow, that's amazing. How about that, loser? but the male student tells him that this action is too dangerous and will be edited out. He only realizes it then, and warns everyone, "You shouldn't eat wasabi straight, okay?" Next, they get ready to enter the next level, which is strictly speaking a physical examination, led by the village chief's other daughter. They arrive at the clinic.
栗谷さん、本当に大丈夫ですか？
あ、大丈夫です。ありがとうございます。
ならよかったです。お大事に。
While waiting in line for registration, the nurses here basically show concern for every patient. It's just that the guys are a little unaccustomed to it. But all of this is being watched by Watanabe. He's already getting impatient. But unexpectedly, when it's his turn, the nurse doesn't show him any extra concern. In the end, he even gets into an argument with the nurse. Luckily, Mr. Okamoto pulls him away just in time. Subsequently, the guys enter the clinic room. The nurse informs the doctor, and they prepare to give them a physical exam. It turns out this doctor is also an actor-comedian in disguise. To confirm whether they've brought any germs in, the doctor wants them to examine themselves first. First up is Watanabe. The doctor asks him to first insert his finger into his own butt, and then take it out and smell it to confirm. Watanabe has been eager for this moment. It's finally his turn to go first.
入れすぎじゃないですか。関節入ってるよこれ。全部入ってる。指を。健康だと思います。
To confirm the report, the doctor asks Nagamo on the side to verify it. Nagamo says, "Why the heck am I doing the inspection?" But under the doctor's strong insistence, Nagamo can only check for him.
いきますよ。ちゃんとうんこですよ。
This is simply too awful. Next, the doctor prepares to check Kamatama. He asks the nurse to first check why his head looks like a turtle egg. But it's the first time the nurse has touched such a large turtle egg, and she feels disgusted. Instead, she seems to prefer Mr. Okamoto next to him. But at this point, Watanabe is starting to feel resentful.
何ですかこのお手軽な寝取られ。
Everyone else is getting abused, but he isn't. This makes him start to feel jealous. But the nurse doesn't like him. Finally, Watanabe can only kneel on the ground and beg for abuse. Well, if that's the case, the nurse girl asks Mr. Okamoto to step in for her. She asks him to put his finger in his mouth, and then take it out and let Watanabe smell it. This show is truly mixing joy with disgust. But at this moment, the nurse says he should try it himself first, or it would be a waste to give it to Watanabe. Although he's unwilling, he can't let down the nurse girl's kindness. But the doctor seems to be feeling unwell at this time, so the nurse figures the doctor shouldn't miss out on this experience either. But given the situation, the doctor probably can't continue the checkup. So, they call for another doctor, a real one this time. And next, they plan to give them a real physical exam. But as soon as they hear it's a rectal exam, everyone involuntarily clenches their butts. Only Watanabe actively asks to go first. But the doctor asks Kamatama to go first. This is unbelievable. Only Japanese reality shows could turn a physical exam into something this real. Nagamo and Mr. Okamoto are utterly shocked by the sight. This is not an exam. It's more like torture.
あと生えてる顔だけどな。
Farting like that is a little disrespectful to the nurse girl. But how could he hold it in? It's like a closed door suddenly being flung open. But luckily, after the checkup, they confirm there are no pathogens. It's just that Watanabe never got his turn.
看護師さんどう思うこれ？
いやーもうなんか奥さんに支えられてんだなと思って。
Finally, to satisfy him, they specially arrange a foot massage for
全然力入れてなさそう。いや痛いのもう痛いの。
私の顔見ててくだ
look
さ
at
い。
my face. Good. Very cute. If you look at me, you won't care, right? No, I won't.
あー立野さん、あーダメ、立野さんダメ、あー立野さん、あ立野さんダメ、俺もダメ、立野さん。
Now he is finally satisfied. At the same time, the show ends with screams. Alright, that's the end of this episode. See you next time.